Hey, yo, like the video, man. You too. What do they do? It is your boy, Noel, look how you do. I'm saying, coming back at y'all with another video, and man, it's gonna be like simple talks. This might be like a little quick video, but hey, we gonna get straight into it. But before we do, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't be dumb as hell. Click that bell. Turn on post notifications so you get notified every single video. Anyways, let's get to it. Yeah, but on a serious note, what I came to say is sometimes we really just need to recharge. I would say the best way to explain this is, in life sometimes we're gonna go through things and we're gonna go through these waves of emotions, you know what I'm saying? It's just the way of life, it's the way of growth, you know what I'm saying? It's happening to us all, and it's definitely been happening on a heavy level since COVID, because you know, we were inside for so long, all we consumed was media, and you know, it's kind of had a drastic effect, you know what I'm saying? We're in this new era, you know, the Great Awakening. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like nowadays, you know, like when you look into like media and stuff like that, it's like when you get too far into what's going on in the world, it's almost like you start to lose a bit of yourself more and more the more you engage into like what's going on. So I feel like sometimes it's important to just kind of stay true to who you are, what you believe, what you do. And yeah, just don't get too caught up in the mix of other things, because it's gonna lead you astray. You're gonna start doing things you never thought you would do, and then also understanding that that was never for you, but you might end up building some level of like trauma or distraught just due to the fact that you even engaged into, you know, this specific activity or whatever, you know what I mean? And all I'm saying is sometimes we do go deep into that rabbit hole to a point where we're not the same, you know what I'm saying? We're dealing with deeper stuff than say childhood trauma, because it's stuff that happened more so recently within the teens and early adolescence years, let's just say, like for example. And due to that, you know, like you might have your friends, you might have, it could be you yourself, and you know, it's just like you see the world differently, things are just different. You're not interested in the things that you used to be interested in before, or maybe like you had a passion of some sort, and like now something in you is like fighting the notion of you getting back into like what you used to do, because you were led astray to do something that was never your business to be doing in the first place, and now you got to a point where like it's hard to get back into that rhythm. And as much as you think about it, and as much as you knew that that past activity or that past passion was something that you liked and loved so much, something that was just something in the core of your being, is just so hard because you've been just so led astray to the outside world, what's going on in other people's lives, you know, dealing with situations that weren't even your own, getting tied into the mix of things, building these levels of stress and, you know, combative energy based on other people's ideals, you know what I mean? But it's like you got tied into it because, you know, you got yourself into the mix of what's going on in the world. And basically what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, I feel like the best way to describe humans, we're just like phones in a way. Now hear me out. Just like phones, we collect a lot of data. Data is information. As humans, we like to absorb information. We like to, you know what I'm saying, see what's going on in the world, understand what's going on from different perspectives other than our own, to, you know, to get like a good idea, a good perspective of like, you know, like what's going on. And you know what I'm saying, sometimes you get interest in things. You might lead towards drama, you might lead towards more romantic things. It's like there's different genres to everything, but you'll see what you gravitate toward. But just like a phone, A phone can get overused. Once you use the phone too much, what happens? Go low battery. You have a lack of energy. You know, you're drained at this point. And when you're drained, you can't perform to your highest extent like you would want to perform. So just like being the phone, if you're being overused, over accessed, I guess to say, you're gonna get to a point where you can't do things as significantly as you would have at, you know, fully charged at 100%. So it's like you're working at like 5%, 20%, and because of that, that leads to conflict within your brain, within you doing the tasks that you need to do. Just like the phone, what you're going to need is to recharge. If you're going through any sort of internal battle, any sort of internal conflict, maybe you were on a certain path doing something good and now you got into the mix of other things, you are going to need to recharge. You're going to need your brain to function, your actions to function the way that it used to. In order to do that, you have to recharge. You have to really do this. And this is the thing, just like with the phone, if y'all ever had one of them 8-foot, 10-foot, you know, long chargers, you know how it gets. You know, after a couple weeks, they're not working as good as they used to be. So as much as you need to recharge, the thing I'm trying to say with that, as much as you need to recharge, you can't disrupt the charging. If you ever try to use your phone as you're trying to charge it, you'll tend to notice that your phone is gonna take way longer to charge than what it should have if you just left it alone. So sometimes in life, we have a process where when we're so stressed or when we aren't doing our due diligence within our purpose, we need to be recharged. And in order to be recharged, we need this period of time. It could be isolation, it could be with friends too, but you just need this period of time to stay true within what you do, what you believe in, the path that you want to do. The reason why the charge is so important is because it should not be interrupted. Interrupting leads you in this like sort of stagnant state. It's like you're going to still build regardless the fact that you're trying to charge per se, but the more you let interruptions get into your way, the charging process, the healing process will take much longer than what it should have, compared to you just kind of just being on your own and recharging to your benefit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's needed. And depending on how deep the trauma, how off track you are with, you know, your purpose and your goals and stuff, instead of just a recharge, sometimes you need to reset. And this is full on shutdown. This is full on reinventing yourself, you know what I mean? Like a whole new programming. You're gonna instill different systems, different routines, and basically just become unrecognizable, whether in a mental sense, a physical sense, like your status, you know what I mean? And sometimes that's what we need in life. Like, it's easy yet hard, but just like the phone, we need to recharge. If you're going through any level of conflict, any level of second thought, any level of you used to be on your shit doing something but now you're not, you need that recharge, man. Sometimes you may need a season of no, you may need an isolation period. And I know it's hard. It's hard to even come up with the fact, especially if you have an active group of friends, or even that 1, 2, 3, 5 friends that, you know, they're not bad people, but at the same time, it's like y'all just been doing the same shit. And you want to get on your shit, and you know you want to be on a different path. And I know this is probably hardest for the people who are trying to get into content, or people who are creatives in general, whether you want to be an actor, a dancer, an artist, a film director, a videographer, a choreographer. I think I said dancer. But pretty much when you're in that field, I think you would understand my words more than most, because it's a lot to do to even get yourself in that platform, especially the spotlight, to a point where not only are you monetized doing what you do, but you have achieved recognition for what you do. And a lot of people don't understand that, because, you know, jobs, even high paying jobs, more or less are granted. you know what I'm saying, there's like a guaranteed one way or another. You just have to figure out the system. But you know what I'm saying, like working a warehouse job, working security, you know what I'm saying, it's a very attainable thing to do, you know what I mean. And but being into content and stuff, as much as people may think it's easy, you need to have some level of, like, you know, you need to have good characteristics, you need to have value within your creativity so people can gravitate towards it. It's not as easy because there's obviously like a fluctuation of people that could be doing it, and there's competition. Competition is deep, so it's not the easiest thing in the world. It is attainable, but it's not like guaranteed access, you know what I mean, like as opposed to, you know, working any 9-to-5 fast food warehouse, you know, all that kind of stuff. So sometimes there's like deeper things that you need to do to get yourself in that field, especially if you don't come from a family or an environment that does the things that you love, yet regardless of what's going on, you still want to do it. Now post-COVID, it has gotten to a point of deeper pressure. So I know if you are new, trying to start content or even get into your endeavors as far as art, video making content, what else is there, like painting, music, all that, it's a way harder realm than it was, say, even 5 years ago. Trends always change, everything is always new and transitional. Some things that may have worked 2, 3, 10 years ago may not work the same as they do today, but you still have to stay on the same track. You still got to be purpose driven to what you're doing. And sometimes it's like I said, the world can distract you, just like how they say the whole thing doom scrolling. It's like we're like phones, man. We'll get addicted to things. It's easy. We get too deep into something without even realizing it within our subconscious mind, and we end up in a rabbit hole. And then this rabbit hole will get you to a point where you get into this level of indecision. It's like, do I still want to pursue what I want to, or do I just do what's going on in the outside world because it's easier, it's comfortable, and it's like, I can do this, at least I have a job, a backup and stuff. And it just really gets to a point, it's like, what do you want at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to, you know, start a gaming channel, like, why aren't you doing it? Because the outside world, oh, your friends are gonna think you're fake because you're not hitting them up. Oh, you might not go out to eat as much as you used to because you're saving a majority of that money to build the gaming setup so you can build the gaming. Sure, you might only get a few views at first, but who knows, a year later you could be racking thousands and thousands of views. It's all about staying within the journey and staying true within yourself. Every journey will start off slow and will start off hard. It's going to be very uncomfortable within the mind and body to do what you do for the first time. All it takes is just a little bit of recognition, a little bit of, you know, you seeing the views going up, you're starting to see the results, and then, you know, somewhere in your subconscious mind, you're going to want to do it more and more. And you got to understand, for everything you do, it has a compound effect. YouTube is probably one of the most beneficial ways of showing that too. I was like reviewing my channels, and I remember there was this video I made a while ago. I think it was like an avatar video. It was like I don't know, something about Toph being blind and stuff. And I remember at the time when I posted it, it had like probably like 40 views or something. I was looking back the other day and it had like 300 and something. And I never realized that, you know what I'm saying? Over time, stuff that you do from back then, they have compound effects later on. So whatever you're trying to aim towards, whether it's fitness, whether it's content, whether it's building something new, a brand, a business, don't stop, man. It's the little things you're doing on the foundational level that's going to benefit you later on in the future. So you always got to stay true to what you're doing, and over time everything will compound. So what I got to say at the end of this video is pretty much, you're just like a phone, and you may need to recharge to get yourself back in order, because the world and external pleasures is going to distract you time and time again. If you get too deep into those distractions, you'll end up in a rabbit hole. But all you have to do is reset, recharge, do what you need to do, and you'll be back on track, man. It's gonna be hard, but you gotta do what you gotta do in any way. But anyways, it's your boy LowkeyyNoel, you know what I'm saying? And we gone.
ask me if you were someone I should've messed with. To be honest, I don't even know. I just go with the flow, keeping up my hopes. Don't regret what I did. I'm so tired of all this shit.